What's up, my film nerds? Welcome back to Max's Film Corner, where we dive deep into everything film. Today I'm bringing you a ranking of I Know What You Did Last Summer, the entire franchise, minus that piece of shit woke trash of a TV show. Alright, here we go.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
So ranking these from worst to best, we're going to start out with the inevitable I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. This is dead last for a reason, because it's absolute fucking trash. This movie is just painfully boring. It's unconnected to the first two films, and, you know, the characters are terrible. The prank and the whole plot and story of the film is just painful. It's fucking awful. The movie was shot in this weird way where it's very, like, 2000s, like, grunge rock band, motion blur, like, green, dark tones. And that's, like, the whole film. It was, like, literally hard to watch. And just for the record, too, I tried watching this twice, and I fell asleep both times. It just sucks. I just don't know what else to say. Overall, I mean, I probably got halfway through each time, and then I kind of just looked up what happened at the end, because I figured after the second time of falling asleep, there's just nowhere, you know, I'm not going anywhere with this. So, I think the only redeeming factor for me personally, and this is not based on execution at all, plus, I will say this is an extreme hot take, okay? Hot take as it gets right now. So I think the reveal at the end of the supernatural killer is honestly pretty sweet. I know, you know, the previous two films of the franchise didn't touch on anything supernatural. I know that the way that they did it is fucking terrible. I mean, just look at this.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
That being said, though, I think that the idea is really cool. It gives, like, a sense of this formidable force, like a Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger. I think that would work really well with the Fisherman. Even down to, you know, if they executed it properly, you could have some different abilities and things that the Fisherman could do with the supernatural. But they didn't, and it sucked. And because of that, this is a fucking rock bottom, dead last choice. Hard pass. Do not recommend watching this film at all. So, next up, number 2, we got I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Now, this is a very fun sequel, kind of swings for the fences, misses a little bit. You know. So we got Julian Ray returning here, which is really cool. It's cool that they brought back characters from the original into the new film. And then also, too, this is set in a tropical island resort location. I personally think this is one of the coolest locations in a slasher film that I've ever seen. It's just fun. It's a cool atmosphere. It gives like this kind of like self-inclusion while, you know, has a very tropical vacation vibes. I thought that was a cool choice for, you know, location for the film. Brandy and Mekhi Phifer, awesome extra characters in there. I think that they bring a lot of fun energy and laughs throughout the film, and I really enjoyed their characters. I definitely put them close up there to, you know, Ryan Felipe and Sarah Michelle Gellar from the first movie. So some of the negatives too, though, is like, you know, Ray, while he's in this movie, he's pretty much sidelined for the entire film up until like the end, which kind of sucks because I do like his character, but they just kind of like pussified him this time around.
All right, latest on the menu. What did I just say?
They pussified him this time around, is what I'm trying to say. Another thing, too, is while I did like this location in this film, it did feel very much so like a Airbnb, like, mansion type of resort. Like, I know it was the end of the season in the film with the rain and everything, so you're not going to have, like, a lot of people around. But it felt, as grand as, like, everything felt, it felt small at the same time. Like, it was very budgeted. But, yeah, so, you know, few fun kills in the movie. Really cool atmosphere. Oh, can't forget either. Jack Black's character is Titus, with the dreadlocks and, you know, smoking pot. He's just a funny laugh. He's very Jack Black in that role. Super random, like little like cameo role appearance. But I thought that was fun and super cool. You know, it has it has good charm to it. I dug it, and I'll be honest too. Like I really wanted to try to find a way where I didn't make this completely obvious for a ranking. I wanted to try to figure out how to maybe slide the second film here into the first spot. But after watching them all again and kind of just going through everything, it's just a pretty straightforward series. You just, this is definitely just right in the middle where it belongs in order, anyways. So I would recommend I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It's a fun little 90s slasher. I think it came out like a year or two after the original. And it's enjoyable. I recommend it. All right, and you guessed it. Coming in at number 1, we got I Know What You Did Last Summer, the original film. So, yes, this movie is super cheesy, very 90s teen slasher, very nostalgic. I mean, when I say cheese, like, you have that scene with the crabs in the car and the dead body. I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous. But either way, it's a lot of fun. You get Jennifer Love Hewitt here. You get, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Felipe, all in their kind of breakout, coming of age kind of roles. And they do a really good job. I mean, I like the love dynamics and the friendship dynamics. I think Ryan Felipe's character is actually pretty underrated. Like, he's just that angsty teen that's pissed off, and you gotta get that real believable aggression from him. For the time, the music was pretty solid. I think the coastal setting is perfect. I think the killer is borderline iconic. I mean, I wouldn't quite put the Fisherman up there with, Jason, Freddy, Leatherface, this and that. But he's almost there. I feel like, maybe with this new film coming out, we can kind of ascend him to that level. Either way, I like the originality of the Fisherman. I like, the dark hood and the fish hook. I do wish that he had more of an arsenal of weaponry. But I do, or I shouldn't say I do, but I did hear that the new film is going to have that. So obviously this movie rode off of Scream's success. The plot is very generic. Essentially these kids, they get in a car accident, they kill someone, they try to cover it up. They get a note literally the year later of how, this person is stalking them and knows what they did last summer. That ends up being the Fisherman. And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's kind of easy to tell even in the beginning, who's the final girl, who's going to probably die. But beyond that, it's just a good time. Like, I wouldn't even, worry about that. I would just go into this, expecting some 90s teen, schlock, but in a good way. I watch this movie, I would say, once a year. Every October, at least, try to every October watch this film. It's just kind of in my arsenal. I really, really like this film. It's not quite on the level of Scream, but it's definitely a lot better than most. And I think, honestly, the 90s is so freaking underrated with good horror flicks. Like, you got Scream, you got I Know What You Did Last Summer, you got the likes of, The Faculty and others. And, this just fits right in that little, top 5, 10, I would say, of the 90s. I really enjoy the film. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out, especially with this new film coming out in, June or July. Yeah. You definitely dig this. So with that, we have a very uneven franchise. It's cheesy, but it's fun. You get your good laughs. You get some really cool kills. Nothing to take too seriously. You don't leave feeling depressed like some of these crazy horror movies nowadays. And that was my ranking of the I Know What You Did Last Summer series. So, how would you rank the films? Do you agree with my hot take on the supernatural killer from part 3? Let me know. I want to hear what you have to say. Let's start a discussion down below in the comments. And please don't forget, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notifications of my next video. Looking forward to this movie coming out in July or June. God, I keep mixing it up. Either way, I don't know what you did last summer, but I'm out.